So where's Brady playing next year, if at all? Vegas feels like it just makes too much sense not to happen at this point.
Well, Tampa made the first move to bring him back. They fired Byron Leftwich. So I mean
And you
that
call, hey,
was
and you said not celebrating it, not celebrating it at all. But you said that for weeks that
yeah
in order for him to come back, there needed to be changes on the offensive staff. So and here we
yeah
are.
yeah. So
This dude
you
right
know,
here.
I
But go
look,
ahead. Go ahead.
I don't know that Byron Leftwich was the problem. I know I can say this about what was going on offense and what I think people were upset about, including players, was that there was a feeling that it was not being schemed to play complementary football. Okay, that there was too much of an emphasis on throwing, that there was not enough work done during the course of the season to get a consistent running game going, particularly when it wasn't just Leonard Fournette back there as the season went on. And I think there was a feeling inside the locker room that we're going to get stuck in a situation where we can't play complementary football. We're going to have to shift all our chips on throwing the ball. And we just don't have the line to be able to sustain that kind of a boat race game. Well, what happens against the Cowboys? Tom throws 66 passes, necessitated because they fell behind, weren't able to, again, play complementary football early on, and we watched it fall apart. I don't think Byron Leftwich was the only problem. I think that he probably could have done a better job. I think Tom could have done a better job. Tom had his warts too this season. I know for Tampa, they're sitting there staring at it saying, we got to bring him back, because the smartest thing for us now is we don't have another alternative sitting there. The cap charge is huge if he's not here. I think it's like $35 million if he's down on the roster. If he stays or retires, it's around 15. So that's really what they're more concerned about. They're saying we're taking an extra $20 million hit if we let him go, and we don't know that we have a better alternative sitting here at quarterback. Can we fix this by finding an offensive coordinator and getting the offensive line back to health and pouring some resources into the running game to make sure that we're a more balanced offense in 2023? I think that's what they're gearing up to do.
You know, one of Kevin Durant's great nicknames that just never stuck, but I loved it, was the Slim Reaper. And I feel like that's Tom Brady now. That's Tom Brady. Yeah. Like, okay, it came there. Bruce Arians, hey, I love you, man. I love you. I love you. All of a sudden, Bruce Arians turns around. Tom Brady retires. Then Tom Brady comes back. Arians is out of a job. 2020, they win, and they celebrate how diverse their coaching staff is. They had a black defensive coordinator in Bowles, black offensive coordinator in Byron Leftwich. Arians said, hey, these guys don't get enough credit. Everybody loves Tampa. Then all of a sudden, turn around, Leftwich is gone. Let me ask you, what's Tom Brady's responsibility, Charles, part one? And then two, I'm going to double barrel it. Sawatsky says, don't do this. I'll do it anyway. Another thing is, what is he right now? If you had to assess Brady as a quarterback, what's your assessment of Tom Brady, age 45, about to be 46, as an NFL quarterback?
In terms of his responsibility, first and foremost, I would say that he has to be honest with himself about what he is now, which is no quarterback likes to get hit, but when you look at that first interception, he clearly was throwing that because he saw a guy come and he was going to get hammered. And it ended up being an interception that's on him because he's not a guy who's just going to take hits in the pocket, hold the ball until the last second to make a play, because he's 45 and doesn't want to get wiped out, doesn't know what, I mean, it's just, he's just not that same guy in the pocket that he used to be in terms of taking punishment. Okay. So he's got to accept that fact. His arm, I think, is still fine. When you talk to people around the league, there's some uncharacteristic moments where he's short arming some things. That's usually because he's not setting up. He just seems to be in a point in his career where he does need to set up his base more than in past years. He can't arm it out at times when he's off platform. Okay. So that basically what I'm saying is Tom Brady and age, it's happening. It is happening and people are seeing it. He has to understand that. So there are some limitations there. Now, that said, I think what Tom Brady was upset with was when all the offensive line injuries happened, it made sense, I think, in his mind and other people in that locker room to, hey, we're really going to have to lean more into the run because, A, that helps out some of the younger components of the offensive line. It's easier to run block than it is to pass block. It's going to be really important to be a balanced team. We got to make sure that we have the run set up, whatever that takes from game one or week 1 to week 18. That didn't happen. It did not happen. And I think that the thought was we're going to end up in a bad situation because of that. They ended up in a bad situation because of that. And a lot of that falls on Byron Leftwich. So I think, both of them have culpability there in this situation. Only one of them has an additional $20 million cap charge if he is not on the team in 2023. That's Tom Brady. In terms of what is he now, I don't think he's a top 10 quarterback. I think, is he somewhere between 10 and 15? Yeah, probably. He needs to have a running game behind him now. He needs to have a line that can protect him. He's at that stage of his career, which is why when I say to Michael Smith, if we're thinking about him going to Las Vegas or anywhere, my first question is, who can protect him best and who has a running game to be able to play the complementary type of football that is a necessity now for Tom Brady. He can't be this guy out here throwing 50 times a game. It's absurd. He just can't.
Number one, Vegas has the running game, assuming they keep Josh Jacobs, which is an assumption, I know.
Definitely.
2,
no question.
Nobody is designed to win. And I understand everything you're saying, Charles, but nobody wins when you're throwing it 50 times a game. When any quarterback that should make it that one-dimensional, very few of them are going to succeed when you're that predictable. Number 3,
even Josh Allen.
Top 10.
Yes, I agree.
Right, but not top 10. Ooh, I mean, I don't want to take too much time counting to 10, but ain't that many dudes I would take over Tom Brady. But I'll tell you what, his legs.
You named him the other day. Yes, there are. You named him as you did this exercise when we were after the show.
No, I was talking about who's still good and who's great.
After you were crapping on
10 guys.
After you were crapping on Derek Carr,
guys I would take.
Well, here, okay, wait. Let me
10 guys I would take over Tom.
Let me refine that a little bit. Okay, let me at least put one filter on it.
What
is around him? Okay, what is around him?
Sure.
If he has the offensive line, if he has a running game, and he has the skill position players, I think that greatly amplifies what he is now, which is a pocket quarterback who needs to be on platform. He has to be on platform. He's a platform player. Can't be moving around. Can't be, throwing without his base set up. And this is not me talking. This is people looking at him now.
No, for real. Everybody can see that. Like, you don't have to be an NFL evaluator to know that. I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm saying that, that's more or less always been him. He's diminished somewhat from what he used to be. That's unanimous. But he's never been known for his mobility. He's not a dual threat quarterback. His mobility has been in the pocket, and it's gotten worse.
Michael,
he would definitely take a hit.
He would take a hit. He will not take a hit now.
No.
Okay? He gets rid of the ball as fast as he possibly can to mitigate damage. And he used to be that guy. He would take it.
But it's almost gone full circle because once upon a time, a reporter in Boston said that Brady was throwing sideways in the Charlie Weiss days to start his career with the Patriots. If they throw another screen to Chris Godwin, I'm going to pull my hair out. So I'm with you on the quick passing game. You understand what I'm saying? I get it. But everything you're saying about needing a supporting cast can be said for 99% of the people. Only one quarterback in the league is both the team's passing game and his running game, and that's Josh Allen. Everybody else needs to be protected. They need a running game. They need receivers. They need all those things.
But not to the degree.
He cannot overcome the way he used to.
So I'm going to transition to another quarterback who may or may not be done because I just saw, I haven't seen the sound myself. Maybe you saw it, Charles, but I just saw I'm just seeing the quote. So I'll just ask you based on the quote completely out of context. Aaron Rodgers told his boy Pat McAfee that he could be NFL MVP again in the right situation. $60 million say he stays in the Green Bay situation. What's his future, if any, in the NFL?
So here's what this is dependent on. Okay. I don't know that Aaron wants to be in Green Bay if they offload some veterans from that roster and you can look, judge it, whatever. It is what it is. There are certain guys that he trusts, veterans, who I think he would like to keep in the fold there that probably will not be in the fold. Okay. Mercedes Lewis, Alan Lazard, what's going to happen with David Bakhtiari. There's a number of players. Okay. Randall Cobb. I know some people are probably hearing these names and going, seriously? Like, really? That's the key to winning.
Jake Kumaro?
Robert Tonyan. Okay, Robert Tonyan. I'm just saying.
Remember Jake Kumaro was a problem?
I'm just saying
Jake
that
Kumaro.
It
Still
is
got weird fetishes, man.
Because I think what he knows is if all those players move on, then you're in the midst of a micro rebuild in terms of you're doing the youth movement thing. And I don't know that at that age he wants to sit there and go, all right, I'm now the guy who remains, and I am trying to help, coddle these younger pieces of the offense. And let's be frank here, some quarterbacks get to that point in their late 30s, and they don't want to be those players. Most quarterbacks, I would say, Tom Brady didn't want to be that player. He's vicious with young players. Peyton Manning was vicious with young players. It does happen.
Run that in. That ain't his fault. We showed that play.
Okay.
All they got to do is run that in.
And here's the other.
Go ahead.
And Charles, before you continue, I just want to say, some quarterbacks get to that position, but some people, that'll make you you want to become an old man and an old woman in a hurry? To sit around romanticizing about yesteryear or how things used to be. Because I know I saw a rookie receiver who Aaron Rodgers wanted nothing to do with at the beginning of the year, and this second rounder, Mike, there you go, this second rounder, the second half of the year, looked like one of the best receivers in football.
Okay.
He was going off, right?
Okay,
but Aaron Rodgers didn't want to take time with him.
I saw a 10-part miniseries on the greatest athlete of my entire lifetime in terms of when I saw him in his prime, that being Michael Jordan, who brutalized young players.
Mentally and physically.
Either mentally and physically. I read what he did to Kwame Brown. Okay. I saw what he did to Scott Burrell. Okay. And that gets celebrated, but then we look differently at NFL quarterbacks who get to that point and we just go, well, that's part of the paycheck that you earn. I don't necessarily agree
I don't think there's a parallel. But this is why it's celebrated. Well, I would say this. The difference is, okay, there's a parallel, but I'd say the difference. Here's a distinction.
Okay.
You're Michael Jordan. You're one of five. You're one of five. So and then you got four other guys you got to worry about. Quarterback, you got to get that whole group on board, and you just can't afford to sit there and just tear somebody down mentally, especially if they're catching your passes.
That's fair. I mean, you're right. I mean, the dynamic in terms of the numbers game is vastly different, and there is more of a building a consensus that has to happen on a football team with a quarterback. So I would agree with that, but I'm just saying, I'm talking just about the realities of ego, the realities of being a high-level athlete, and these guys don't want to play catch-up with younger players. I mean, Drew Brees, Garrett Gilbert basically isn't in the NFL right now because Drew Brees refused him the ability to learn in quarterback meetings. He was like, either you come in knowing it, this is my quarterback meeting. We're going to do this my way. We're going to talk about all the high-level stuff. If you don't understand it, you learn it from the coaches outside of the quarterback room. And that never happened. That ended that dude's career. But we love Drew Brees, right?
Michael and I were arguing earlier.
I like getting off on the side tangents.
Yeah. I ate my crow about the Cowboys and the Bucs, but I don't think the Cowboys have anything for the 49ers. Michael thinks it's going to be a blowout in favor of the Cowboys. I don't know if it could be a blowout if you can't kick extra points or field goals, or maybe they're just going to score that many touchdowns against the best defense in the league.
Oh, man.
But I'm serious. Like, what are they going to do about Brett Maher?
Brother had a bad day. Brother had a bad day. He had a bad day. He had a terrible day at times.
I have a lot of bad days at the office. I've never seen a bad day quite like that. So what are they going to do about this issue? Or they just go like, hey, Hope that he fixes it, that he's okay next week, or what? Is there anything they can do at this point? He's been there. Is there somebody they can find? What's the solution, if any?
I mean, it was an awful day, but okay, if you look at it in terms of the kicks, the first two, he misses, and then he overcorrects on the third, right? So you're like, okay, the first two, you're like, why did you miss those two? Maybe there's really they're just bad kicks, right? The third one, you're like, is there a reason why he missed the third one? Yeah, because he overcorrected. So you're like, you saw the correction, you overcorrected, he missed it. The fourth one goes over the top of one of the uprights. He makes the fifth. I think we saw someone just completely crash, and then we watched them slow. Yeah, seriously, in the game, we saw
as he went along in real time. I like it.
He made two horrible mistakes. He made a third mistake trying to fix the first two mistakes. The fourth mistake was right there. He almost made that. I mean, it was literally inches. It was still not a great kick. And then the fifth, he was completely fine. I think we literally watched a guy chronologically work through it in one single game. It was horrible.
So this isn't the yips. This isn't the
No, I think if you're Mike McCarthy, and I think this is what Mike McCarthy will do, I think you go to him and you say, you know what, you're not that guy. We know you're not that guy. You were great all season long. You had a really bad day. We literally watched you work your way through it. You made your last kick. That's the guy you are. You made it. Let's just move on. Okay. Let's not even drill on it and Pratt. You're good. Let's just move on. Remember your last kick. Okay, you made it. Let's go ahead and go out and win.
You're only as funky as your last cut. All right, Charles.
That's
we appreciate it, man. We got to let you go. We got more company coming through, but
Michael Holley needs to call me because we need to have all kinds of arguments about some of the things that are happening on the show. You and I, we need a whole hour to argue. We need to argue about the Slim Reapers in the NFL.
Slim Reaper.
Well, I mean, but Charles, Charles, the whole fall you did this show more than me. So don't y'all have plenty of time together?
Cowboys are not blowing out San Francisco either. All right, they're not blowing them out. All right, come on.
Ain't nobody blowing out. He a Brock Purdy hater. He ain't a believer yet. He gonna come around. He a little slow, but he gonna get it.
I love this. He gonna get it. Look, I love the content. Oh, look at this.
Hey,
what's up, Charles?
Lawsuit pending.
Is that how you're supposed to wear? Wait, I don't know about is the t-shirt and the hat though? Is that how you're supposed to wear a Tigers hat? Is there only one way to wear a Tigers hat?
This is it. That's it. Dan Campbell's gonna be served.
Bro, if you take off the glasses, maybe you kind of look like Dan Campbell. Low key, lowest of keys.
Lowest
biting
of keys.
kneecaps. One ass cheek and three toes.
Hey, thank you for watching Brother from Another. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, go ahead and do that now. Don't forget, you can catch us 3 to 4 weekdays on PeacockTV.com and on Sirius XM Channel 85.